Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Petal Talk podcast. I am your host, Allison Crowder, and today we have a very special guest on. We have Maria Moll. Hi, welcome to Petal Talk, where skincare meets soul care. She is our medical director, and she is a jack of all trades, and she is someone who I know that our listeners are going to gain a lot of knowledge from and feel very inspired from. She has been working with us for years at this point, and is someone very special to us, and I'm so happy to have you on.
I'm very happy to be here. This is so exciting. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a little podcast, so just excited to talk about all things.
Yeah, me too.
Skin and wellness.
Yes, me too. Okay, so for those who might not know, we'll get into all of your story, of course, but for those who don't know, give us a little spiel about you, what you do, your practice, all of those things.
So I am a aesthetic nurse practitioner. I have been in the industry, honestly, since 2017. That's when I started my journey in plastic surgery. So I was a plastic surgery NP for a few years, and I kind of got lucky, to be honest, because I know in this industry it's so hard to get in, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure you hear that a lot, and I hear that a lot from colleagues that reach out to me like, well, how did you start? How did you get in? I'm like, well, I got really lucky, honestly. I graduated as an NP, and one of my friends was friends with a plastic surgeon in Miami. That's where I originally started injecting, and he called me when he was on a trip to Mexico looking for an injector and someone to see his post-op patients, because he was a very prominent plastic surgeon in Miami. So he gave me a call. He's like, hey, do you want a job? I'm like, I do. I just graduated. And I'm like, I didn't know what I wanted to do per se, but I was always interested in skin just because I grew up with terrible acne. Okay, yeah. So tell us. So when you were a child, you wanted to do what? Like when you were a kid, you wanted to be a singer? You wanted to do... I wanted to be a vet.
Everyone says that. Yes.
I'm a huge animal lover. Like that was my dream. And then obviously like I looked into it and I was like, that's a lot of school and I don't know. And then, I looked into the nursing program and I was like, you know what? Like I can really do a lot with this. Like I can work with kids. I can work with adults. So I graduated as a nurse in 2011. I went to nursing school down in Miami. I worked in the hospital, in the trenches, in ICU, in IMCU.
In ICU?
Yeah, critical care was my background.
Why?
I did that. Really, I had applied to Memorial Healthcare System, which is a big hospital down there in South Florida, so like the Broward area. And they I was a new grad nurse, so they have those programs where they kind of teach you everything. So I just got kind of like my in there, and I started working as a nurse. They kind of put you through like this, like almost like a fellowship program for a little bit to kind of teach you everything. And I started working. I did my classes. I remember going to Broward College and like doing all the things. And then they finally put me on a floor with a mentor, and then they just kind of like, free bird. All right, you're on your own.
Did you like the hectic kind of like quick pace of
I did.
that? Yeah,
I did. And it was very rewarding, I would say, because at the time, I think healthcare has definitely shifted after COVID.
Yes.
But at that time, back in, 2011 through like 2013, that time it was very, very different. And there was a lot of camaraderie in that space. And I made friendships there that I still talk to this day, because I started on night shift, and as other nurses know, night shift is crazy. You don't have as many resources. Like stuff hits the fan, and you're kind of
all the crazy comes out.
But it was great because I was there for I would say like 7-8 years in that unit, and I learned so much, and I think that's important.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
I feel that. I feel like, and I can be wrong for this, but I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of nurses, it's so tricky and so challenging that they often don't last a long time, right? I feel like that's really common. So 7-8 years, that's a really long time to, clearly you loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And clearly it was your life. That's amazing. That's a long time.
Yeah, no, I did my time. I did my time in the hospital. So, but I think that definitely prepares you for anything you do in the future, because, you learn how to talk to patients and like just be compassionate.
And different types of patients.
Different
and
types of
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You deal with the family members and like you really do have that like background of compassion and like how to deal with certain situations, and you do become a stronger person. I mean, let's be honest, as you see some crazy.
Do you have any wild stories that you can share?
Oh my God. So it's so funny because it's Nurses Week.
It's
Nurses Week.
Celebratory.
So I had made a few posts and I'm like, oh my God. And so I was like going through like all the things. I'm like, day shift, night shift, people pulling out their Foley catheter. That was one of the crazy stories. I had a gentleman that was, he had dementia, and I remember walking into his room and it's just like a pool of blood, and I'm like freaking out, what happened? And then I see that he's like just walking around because he's confused, right? But we got there too late. So he had pulled out his Foley catheter and it was just a mess. I have so many crazy stories.
Sure.
Like when I got pregnant with my son, I was still working at that same hospital, and we had, I don't know if you guys remember the Flocka epidemic, like the bath salt.
So I just found out about this a few months ago.
So the Flocka epidemic was crazy. Like we would get these patients and they were like little 18, 19-year-olds that just got on some bath salts and just went nuts. And I'll never forget this. I was taking care of a patient, and mind you, they were like, Maria, get away, because I was about like 6 months pregnant at the time. You don't need to be here. But like they act calm for a second and then they freak out, and I'll never forget, punched right in the stomach while I'm 6 months pregnant.
No.
Mind you, I was fine. The baby was fine. Everything was fine. But everyone's freaking out. I'm like, Maria, you can't do this job anymore, Maria. You can't do this. But yeah, I mean, I have so many crazy stories. I can't even begin with the crazy stories. It's insane.
Just recently found out about this bath salt situation a few months ago. We were talking about it, and I did not live here. I feel like in Florida it was a bit more prevalent than like in other states, like in the Midwest where I lived at the time. We didn't like have access to that, in the sticks. That was crazy. And I watched a bunch of videos. Like, I can only imagine what it was like working in healthcare at that time. They're literally zombies.
Yeah, zombies. And we would get them like just one after the other, and I'm like, what is going on? Like,
that's so scary.
Is the world empty? Do we have real zombies?
The Walking Dead came true. This is it.
Ebola was another crazy one.
Yes,
I'm
sure.
When Ebola came by, that was insane.
I'm sure. And, it's tricky too, because like you obviously have like a serving heart and you want to like help these people, but when they're so far past like your scope almost, it's like I don't even know like where to help you, where to start. I can only imagine. That's so crazy. Okay, so you are doing nursing for 7-8 years, then you have your baby, or what does that look like?
So while I was still working at the hospital, I had already gone back to NP school.
Okay.
At that time, I don't know how it is now. I literally have no idea, because I see people going straight from like their regular RN nursing and they go straight into NP.
Okay.
I worked as a nurse for a while before I even started the NP program, and I think that's the best way to do it, because you have all that knowledge and all that experience to really become a provider, because it is something totally different, like a whole different ball game. So I'm grateful for that they demanded that at that time, because you get that experience to really be a good provider.
And like that professional opinion.
Nurse, I mean, I didn't know anything. Thankfully, I was so blessed. I had the best preceptors, the best mentors, and I was in a unit that thankfully everybody was around to help. It wasn't, the doctors were a different story. They were very mean. They made me cry many times. Even when I was pregnant, they made me cry. Like, Maria, I'm like, I'm crying. But I was surrounded by an amazing group of nurses that we all used to work together, and we had each other's backs. If one of us was struggling or we needed coverage, they would be right there. So it was a very great experience in that sense. I know now nursing is totally different, because I hear from my friends now that are now becoming nurses, and it's a totally different environment. But yeah, I feel like that really prepared me to just deal with people in general. Honestly, just deal with people in general, and just have that, I don't know, just, you need that experience.
Absolutely.
Going into anything, whether it's, even if I decided to stop doing nursing altogether, I feel like that prepared me for anything in the future.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that when you are able to work that much like hands-on, it gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of that professional opinion that you do need, and to be able to like advocate for things that you feel like are right, or your opinions, or that is something that you can't really teach. And similar just in this industry, sometimes we've talked about this, but when we have girls that are brand new out of school, versus the ones that have been doing it for a while, like it does take time to kind of grow that muscle of confidence and grow that kind of expertise, and the only way you can get there is with time and with that hands-on experience. Exactly. So it's good that you're able to get that, because it is so different now. I feel like medical aesthetics, medical nursing is so different, and so it seems like it really set you up for success.
Yeah, for
right
sure.
now, which is good.
Yeah, no. Then I went back to school. So, and that was when I didn't know, because I'm like, okay, what do I do as an NP now? Like now I'm a full blown provider. Like where do I want to go?
Why did you? So if someone doesn't know the difference, what is the difference? What is an NP?
So an NP is basically a master's prepared nurse, where now you're kind of like a step up where you can actually see patients, provide prescribe medications. You know, you don't need a doctor for that per se. Sure. Obviously, in certain specialties, you still do. I certified when I originally graduated in family medicine, so I really could do, and I did that on purpose because I knew I could kind of branch out. If I wanted to work with kids, I could. If I wanted to work with the geriatric population, I could. But like I said, my life took a total turn because I got hired with a plastic surgeon, which wasn't in my original like plan. Yeah. But I was like, all right, great, my first job. Like I'm sure I'll learn a lot, all these things. So I started working with him right off of MP school, right when I like took my boards, I passed, everything was good. And that's what introduced me to this industry.
Did you ever care about it growing up or anything before this? Did you care about skincare? Did you care about makeup? Did you have any
Not
of that?
Makeup.
Okay.
I was never a makeup girl. I still am not.
Sure.
Because now I'm like, I literally am not even wearing makeup. I have tinted sunscreen from Skin Better.
Oh, so like, that's a great option though, if you're going to pick one.
That's my makeup. Yeah. But yeah, no, I was never a makeup girly. I would say I never knew what to do with my skin. Nobody ever taught me. Sure. You know, back in my day, it was St. Ives scrub for acne, like, because I had acne my whole life, and basically now I'm like, oh my God, what a
not
mistake.
The apricot scrub.
Yes, the apricot scrub, just destroying your skin
We've
barrier.
all been victim to
acne
it.
Worse. I was seeing dermatologists, which eventually put me on Accutane. That changed my life. Yeah. It took away my acne, I would say, for like 10 years until it reared its ugly head when I became like 30 and started getting adult acne. Yes. But that was fine. I was already in the industry, so I kind of knew what to do now. Right. But yeah, no, I feel like, that definitely, I feel like the acne that I dealt with, because it's traumatizing, right? It is. Like, we have so many patients that they're so just defeated because they've been to every single dermatologist, they've been through every single treatment, the antibiotics and this and that, and I feel like now we have definitely progressed in that field as far as like doing the more holistic things and just taking care of your skin health, doing routine facials. Like people underestimate the power of a good facial. Like,
they absolutely do. People go their whole lives without it.
Like I have this Lancome cream at home. I'm like
the oil of Olay
at home, Nivea. I'm like, don't do it.
Yes.
And they do that for years, so it's hard to transition then sometimes. Right. But I feel like coming from a personal perspective, I always go into my consultations that way. Like I tell them my story. I'm like, look, like I've been where you're at. It's a journey. Yes. It's not going to happen overnight. Right. Like you need to start doing these little habits, come in for routine facials at first. Like start with the basics. Even me as an injector, and I'll say the background about that. When I first started injecting, I was just injecting. Like I didn't really care about the skin health. Like I was like, all right, cool. Let's do some lips. Let's do some cheeks. And then I started noticing, I'm like, when I do my before and afters, I'm like, all I can focus on was their trash skin.
Yes, right? Because then it makes your work not look as good either, right? Because it's like, yes, maybe their forehead now has none of these fine lines, but the skin is so dull or dehydrated or textured that it doesn't even matter that it's smooth. Yeah. Because it's not. Exactly. We always talk about that your makeup is only going to look as good as the skin that it's on, and same with your filler. Like, skin needs to be first, then makeup, then injectables, then laser, right? Like there is like a bit of a flow chart almost to that of what needs to happen first, because if you spend all this money getting threading and like all these things, but you still have this like heinous fill in the blank, it's kind of a waste at that point.
And honestly, in my consultations, that is what I stress. I'm like, your skin health is your foundation. Absolutely. And I tell them straight up, no one's going to care how good I make your lips right now. Absolutely. If your face is dealing without this. So I'm like, I even like sometimes talk them out of the injectables.
Yeah, but
which
that's
is weird,
also
right?
like, that's what is a good practitioner.
Right.
is being honest and like having that communication with your guests of like, yeah, I could just like give you 2 full syringes,
right?
But I care about you as a person, and that's not what's best for you.
Yeah, and I would say that's the hard part in my job. Sure. I would say I almost like I always say to people, I'm like, maybe I should just like require a facial first before they even come to see me.
Yeah, right.
Because my esthetician
that's
is
not
amazing.
a bad idea.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. It's not. I really think like
even like an express like consult facial situation. Right. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be like 90 minutes.
Exactly. Like I consider
you might be onto something.
She's amazing. Like she has been in the game forever. Like clients are obsessed with her. Like you have one facial with her and you're like, oh, this is my esthetician for life. So she's my first line of defense. And like we collaborate all the time. Like when I have a patient come to me for injectables and I see that their skin needs some major help, I'm like, look, I write down the whole treatment plan, but I'm like, go see my girl Jenny first. And then we're going to revisit all the stuff that we talked about later. Because we do a pretty good job with our consults. We have a whole consult sheet. I'll write down like a whole 1-year plan of what they need to do. And like even like at the bottom, I have a skincare section where I'm like, I write down like, okay, step 1, cleanser, step 2, this. And I'll recommend certain things for their skin type. And they leave with that at every consultation. And let's say they don't decide to do any, I'm not a pusher. I'm like, this is a personal decision. Right. Go over all the things, think about it, call me back when you're ready. But start with a facial.
Absolutely.
Start with a facial. Like my SD will take a good look at your skin, analyze everything that needs to be worked on, and then we're going to revisit this whole filler thing and right after that.
Because also you might feel like you don't need it as much if your skin is just so dehydrated, right? Like that could be the problem.
Exactly.
And this is a very easy fix.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I tell them it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You got to like... People come in and that's the frustrating part about my job too. I'm like, they come in and they expect, okay, they haven't taken care of their skin in 50 years. Right. And they expect, because obviously, yes, this is a cash pay thing. This is a luxury. They expect that, okay, I'm spending $1,000. Like, no,
I want to look 20 years younger.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't reverse 50 years of damage in one session. Like it takes more. Like I use the analogy of like the gym. Like you can't just like go to the gym once a week and then go eat McDonald's, which is like using like olive oil at home, and then expect these like life-changing skin results. So I'm so big on skin health, and I wasn't always like that. That was trial and error. I mean, I've been injecting for 8 years now. Yeah, and I would say like now the last 4 or 5 years is when I'm really just like.
Why do you think you changed?
Because I did it myself.
Yeah.
I did it myself. Like I started using all these products and like seeing the changes in my own skin because I had acne scarring and I had all the things and doing microneedling and I do all these things myself. So I feel like that's important too. Like I feel like anyone that comes into my practice, even if it's an MA, even if it's the front desk, like we have staff treatment days and I'm like, you guys need to know how to I don't use the word sell, but you need to know how to educate your patients. And the only way to really do that is if you're trying it yourself. Absolutely. Because you're going to try it. You're going to see what the process is like. You're going to see the healing time. You're going to use the products. Like it's only natural that I can't speak on anything unless I've tried it first. Absolutely. I tell my patients, I am your guinea pig. Yeah. If I'm recommending something to you, I've already tried it. I've already tried it and it's tried and true. And I really like the term collagen banking because a lot of people are like, oh, Maria, well, I did that laser. And like, I don't really notice a difference. And I've just been like, oh, a month. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, collagen takes time to build. Right. And even if you don't see things right away, it's never a one and done treatment. No, never. So just think of it as collagen banking. Whatever you're doing now, even if you're not seeing like A+ results right away, you're just putting that in the bank. Absolutely. So that you're slowing down that aging process because you're only going to be producing more collagen. If you go home and you use your good products that you know are going to like stimulate those skin cells, you're going to see differences. It's just going to take time. Absolutely. Nothing is overnight. Like if we have like 40 years of sun damage, we have a lot of work to do.
So much work. And I think people also don't really comprehend like how deep some of that either scarring or that hyperpigmentation really is. I think they think that it's like very surface level. And sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. And especially in Florida, these kids have been, like I use Ryan as an example all the time. Ryan's been a Florida boy his whole life. Yeah. The hyperpigmentation that he has on his back is something I've never seen. I've never seen anything like it. Okay. And he's like, yeah, well, I was born in the 80s and I've never worn sunscreen. And I'm like, I can tell. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then he comes to me and he's like, this is my back. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You have a lot of work to do, right? But it's that kind of, you know, especially being in Florida, there is so much of that. And it all is education, right? And we say the same thing to our girls. It's not selling. And I'm really passionate about that because I don't feel like my husband is a salesman, right? I'm not a salesman. He works in a dealership. He is a salesman. I am an educator, right? Like, you have a problem. You're coming to me for a solution. Mm-hmm. This is the answer. Either you take it or leave it.
Right.
But this is the answer. And so giving them that education and being really unbiased of, you know, this might make me more money, but this is really what's best for you. And picking that avenue is always the way to go.
Yeah. And I think that sets you apart too. Like, even with the estheticians, like if you're more on that route of education, and it's so funny because I think when I first started my career, one of the laser reps told me that advice, and I forgot what his exact words were, but he was like, you guys are not sellers. You guys are educators.
Absolutely.
And if you plan your consults and everything around that, like, you're not going to fail because
they trust you.
They trust
and
you.
As they should. This is very intimate. It's very expensive, and it is a luxury. And it's sometimes too also something that these people have struggled with their whole lives, and how unfortunate, you know, they come to you, maybe it's $1,000, right? They've saved $1,000 for the last 5 years or whatever. And they're like, I'm finally going to fix this thing this scar that I've had or whatever, fill in the blank. You owe it to them. And like, you owe it to your licensure to do the right thing.
Right.
Because that is what this industry is all about. And there is this bond and this connection that happens after that of like, I see you.
Right.
I would rather you do X, Y, and Z instead of what you think, right? Like, I don't know. And that just comes with like the experience and the years of your licensure.
It takes a while to get that, because it took me a while to get there.
Absolutely.
Too. So
absolutely.
It's just about saying those certain words. Like I'm not trying to, like, I've never been a pusher, but yeah, in the beginning when I was injecting, I was just like, oh my God, I love injecting. Like, but then I'm like, after a few years, you're like, I'm not liking these before and after because all I can stare about is her sunspots, you know, like all these things. So yeah, I think that definitely comes with experience. And you just have to feel comfortable in what you're saying and what you're, because it's the truth. I mean, you've done the education.
And you know what's best.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like you said, like, you're coming to me for a professional opinion. Like, this is what I think is best for you. And, you know, like I said, my consults, like, they don't have to do anything now. Like, don't feel pressure. Like, this is what the plan is for the next year. What I think you should do this quarter and this quarter. Right. And I think that that's the way I've built, you know, really good clients, because the clients that are like, oh no, well, I just want you to fill these nasolabial lines with filler. Like, that's what I came in here for. That's not the type of client that I want to take on. Absolutely.
Right. And then that's where you two get to be picky and be like, okay, well, we are just not a good fit. And that's totally fine.
And that's fine.
Because there are a lot of injectors, there are a lot of spas, and there are a lot of faces
that just want to take your money.
Go. Right. Exactly. Go to the place that offers the $5.99 syringes or whatever. Like, go. They got to get business too, right?
Right. Yeah.
When you were working right out of school, what were some lessons that you learned or some takeaways that you had working under someone who was like a bit more established and you were like brand new? What did that kind of look like?
So it's funny because he just sent me to like a 2-day course and was like, all right, Maria. But the good part about that is that we had a lot of female employees, and his practice was really growing at that time too. So we probably had like 100 female employees there that were all young.
100 employees?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I can't imagine.
Now he has practices all over like the US. So
that's
he's
a
really
lot.
grown. Yeah.
Good for him.
But yeah, like, I didn't have much guidance at all. Like, I just had that little like weekend course. But the good part was that because we had all the employees, I practiced on so many of them before I even touched a real patient. Yeah. So I feel like that's what really, because the hands-on is what's really going to teach you.
Do you remember the first person that you injected?
Yes. So she was one of the patient care coordinator or surgical coordinators. And I pretty much started with lips, right? Because that's what everybody wanted at the time. I mean, this was back in 2017, 2018.
Oh yeah. The Kylie lip kits were everywhere.
Yeah, it was all about the
liquid lipstick.
Exactly. But I started there, and then obviously moved on to like cheeks and a lot of Botox. So I got a lot of practice, which was nice. And that's kind of how.
Did you do a good job on your first injection? Your first lips?
I did, surprisingly. But the other areas I did struggle with. Like, but that's how you learn. You make mistakes and you learn. Because at the time he was only using one specific filler brand that like. And he didn't know a lot about injecting.
Well, and also I feel like the options have changed a lot.
Oh yes.
Like I feel like even in the last maybe honestly, maybe even since that time, 2018, 2019, I feel like there's so many other brands now, and I feel like there's so many other options. Some are more intense, some are less intense, some are cleaner, some are not, like, and that wasn't always the case. It was like Botox, right? Like, and that was what people thought was everything, right? Like, people thought you got filled with Botox. People thought that you got frozen with, like, it was just, that was it, right? And now there's so many other avenues where people just are not, it's just a different industry now.
It is.
It's just grown.
It's definitely changed, and I love the trends now because now we're all about the skin health, and I love that it's gone that way. And even with like peptides and like NAD+, like now we're like rejuvenating from the inner to outer, which, God, why haven't we been doing this all along, right? Because it's true. Like, your health and like your habits, it's going to show through your skin.
Absolutely.
So if you're eating McDonald's every day and you're using olive oil and you're not a healthy person, it's going to show through your skin. It's the largest organ in the body. And it's going to be the hardest to go away when it gets to your skin, right? Because by the time it's finally come to the surface, it has been this accumulation of who knows how long. Right. Exactly.
Right.
But yeah, it's just setting that realistic expectation. That has been, I think, the biggest change that I've had since I first started to like where I'm at now. I set their expectations. They come and they're like, oh, well, what can I do that is like a one and done? I'm like, nothing.
You can leave. No.
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Yes. Nothing is a one and done.
Right.
Is the gym a one and done?
Right.
No.
Nothing is a one and done.
Nothing is a one and done.
Your hair is not, your nails not, like, nothing.
Nothing. No. Like, we age every day. Like, every day. So, like, what can I do that, like, will last me 5 years? I'm like, a facelift, but even then we're not treating the skin.
Yes.
Because I used, I even like in Orlando, once I moved to Orlando 5 years ago, I was working part-time for a plastic surgeon, very prominent plastic surgeon here in Winter Park. And he would do facelifts all the time. And he would tell them, like, no, come with my NP, do a good laser afterwards. But I've seen them come back like a year later, and it's almost like they never got the facelifts because they never did the work at home.
Yes.
I'm like, guys, it's like 20% what we're doing in the office, even with surgery, and like 80% what you're doing at home to maintain that result. Just like you're working out, just like you're eating healthy. It's the exact same
I totally
concept.
agree. And we tell the guests that all the time here, right? Like, sometimes the girls will give them a whole regime, right? And it can feel a little bit overwhelming, and I totally get it. But there is so much validity in this is what's going to set you up for success. If you come in, realistically, how many times do people come in a year for a facial? Maybe once a month, and that's like your extra special guest. But I would say that the bulk of our guests come maybe 8 to 10 times a year, right? That's like around 6-ish weeks. 8 to 10 treatments compared to 365 nights are completely different. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. They have to do the work at home.
You have to.
Yeah. And I always tell people, I'm like, listen, everyone has a budget. I totally get it. But there's things for
options
every budget.
too.
There's options.
Absolutely.
There's options.
Yes. We recently brought in face reality, and that I feel like has been a huge game changer for a lot of our younger guests who are
struggling with the acne
so bad, right? And that's kind of our like niche, is this really cystic acne. Where do I start? And it's this really niche demographic of like 17 to like maybe 28-ish, that 10-year-ish gap of chronic, inflamed, painful, deep, and for a lot of these kids, they're like in college or they're just barely married and they're so young, and they look at some of our other lines and they're like, oh my God, it's $800. And I'm like, well, yeah, like kind of, right? But offering something like face reality, which has been a huge game changer for us, has really shifted our perspective in what works, what doesn't work, and that there are options at every price point. Now, obviously, some will work better than others, and there are some things that are better for others, but we can be so flexible with you. Wherever you want to be, we can meet you there. We just have to know all the facts and be able to just meet you where you're at and support you wherever you're at. And there's no shame, right? Like,
it's just like a little compromise between the provider and the patient. Like,
but as long as we can set you up for success, that's all we want to do too, right? Okay, so tell me a little bit about, so you're working for this guy, and then you moved to Orlando. What does the rest of that look like? And then talk about where you are now and what you offer, because I want to get into all that too.
Yeah, so I moved to Orlando. I got a job offer with this medical spa in Lake Buena Vista. So I was there for, like 3 years, but that's when COVID hit, right? So we got like laid off for those 2 months because we were considered non-essential, even though I thought it was very essential. We need a facial.
We're like extra essential actually right now.
So I was working with them for a little bit. So obviously I had already like kind of transitioned. I wasn't doing any more like seeing the patients. Even when I worked with a plastic surgeon down there, or here in Winter Park, I wasn't seeing patients. I was just doing his medical spa side because half of his practice was medical spa and the other half was the surgery side. But, you know, they cross over because they have their surgery and then they want a little skin tightening so we can do other things. So we would kind of share that. But yeah, so in 2022, I decided to branch off on my own.
Okay.
I was just kind of tired of growing everybody else's practice.
Yeah. And at this point, you've been doing it for a long time. You like know, you like hit a ceiling. You're like, what do I do next? Yeah. Like, what do I do next? So I'm like, let me do it. Let's go for it. So I got a little suite in Dr. Phillips. I had patients there that, I mean, I was not really starting from scratch because the patients that have been with me from the previous practice, a lot of them, you know, they followed me. Like they followed me on Instagram, so they knew where I was going. I mean, I never signed a non-compete or anything like that. Like patients are patients; they're free to do whatever they want, and they're going to find you if they want. Regardless. Exactly. I never sought them out, but they found. So I have patients that even now they've been with me for 5+ years, and they're loyal, and they come to see me now at my new location. So I was there in Dr. Phillips for 2020. So until 2024. In 2024, a colleague of mine approached me about partnering up and doing something a little bit more special, a little bit bigger, and getting a little storefront. And we started looking, and we found this gorgeous, gorgeous spot in Baldwin Park, right in the Village Center. And at the time, I don't even know how my partner found out, but she was kind of looking to just get out of ownership. So we just kind of pitched it to her. We're like, hey, like, would you be interested in maybe us buying you out and you can stay with us and be our main SD and like we'll do the hard part, right? You just come in and do your job and go home. And it was crazy. I almost feel like it was like divine timing because like she was going through a lot of things at home and she was just like, I can't handle this anymore. Like, and then she's like, you guys have, I think you guys, it was meant to be because I was looking, because she wasn't looking for that. She was actually, we went in there because she was looking to rent out some of her rooms. Oh, wow. So then we just kind of pitched it to her. We're like, do you want to get out? Like, we're willing to take this space and take over your lease and like, we'll just convert it into Skin Local. And she was totally down with that. And we were so happy that she was willing to stay with us because she had her clientele. Right. So we just kind of joined forces that way. So I am co-owner of Skin Local Orlando. My partner, she's the original founder of the Miami locations because I have a lot of connections in Miami. Like I still have a lot of colleagues that practice out there and have their own practices there. And she went to school out here in Orlando, so she basically comes like once a month and sees patients. But we're both co-owners of Skin Local Orlando, so that's kind of how Skin Local Orlando was born. It was a big change for me because obviously now I have staff pretty much. Before it was just me by myself, solo injector in this medical office building. But like I brought my patients, the SD brought her patients. Gina, who's my partner, obviously had some connections in Orlando because she went to school out here. So she had patients that come to see her once a month, and now they come to see me too. So it just kind of worked out, and we've been growing that baby for the last year because we had to do some renovations, so that took a little bit longer than expected, but we finally started seeing patients there around May. I think May, it's going to be our 1-year anniversary. So like May, we opened the doors and started seeing patients there. So, you know, transitioning over all my Dr. Phillips patients to over there, and most of them followed me. Some of them didn't because I get it. It was out of their way, and I haven't seen them in a while. And that happens. When you move, you know, you anticipate you're going to lose a certain percentage of your clients, which is fine. But honestly, we're in a great area. Tell me about it. What services do you offer? What does it look like kind of on the day-to-day? So we are, you know, fully women-owned and operated. Nice. We are a boutique, more cosmetic dermatology, I would say, because we do offer some of the, you know, skin tag removals and like those little services, but we do injectables. So that's more like the medical side, what differentiates like a day spa from like a medical spa, right? So we do the injectables, we do the lasers, and just more advanced treatments. So we have a Morpheus 8, which is RF microneedling.
We have a Lutronic Ultra, which is skin resurfacing, so a skin resurfacing laser. And no, those are our two main devices.
Nice.
Everything else, we have a hydrofacial.
Nice.
We have, which our SC uses. We have the microneedling. So we have the collagen pin with that. I used to have the skin pen, kind of switched over to the collagen pin now.
Yeah.
All great
good
devices. They all do the same thing. But yeah, we just kind of do a little bit of everything. And then now we also do a little bit more of the wellness.
Tell me.
Yes. So wellness. And I've been dabbling in it for a little bit, even when I was in Dr. Phillips. So started just with like the vitamin shots, like the B12, the glutathione, all those things work as skin brighteners and work from the inside out, give you more energy. So we started with that first. Now I'm dabbling more into the, oh my God, there's so many peptides. I wouldn't even know where to start. I'm still learning about so many of them. But
it's so fascinating that all this is not like coming out, but becoming more talked about.
Yes.
It's so fascinating to learn about, especially as someone who also is like a wellness girl. This is so my jam. And so every time these conversations come up, I'm like, I want to hear. Tell me more. I want to learn.
And this comes from my personal, because in 2022, I got on the GLP-1s or the weight loss med, right?
Slay.
Before it was even a thing, right? Because it like blew up and everybody was doing it and everybody was offering it. And I lost 60 pounds.
Okay, tell me about that. If I may. Why? What did that look like for you? Tell me your experience, because I find it to be so fascinating. And
it is
I have
amazing.
a couple girlfriends that have been on it as well, and I'm always like blown away. I think it's such a tool that is only the beginning of something so much bigger, right? So tell me a little bit about that. Whatever you're comfortable with sharing, tell me.
No, for sure. No, I'm an open book. I literally
I want to know all the
every
deets.
single consult. No, I had ballooned up, I would say, just from stress alone after COVID.
As a business owner, it's exhausting. I get it.
I had ballooned up to almost 200 pounds. And mind you, I'm 5'1". So
You're
that's
kidding.
a lot. That's a lot.
You're kidding.
And everything I was doing was not working. I mean, I was working out with a personal trainer. I was eating clean. There was a hormonal component to that. So I did start seeing a functional medicine specialist who was like, oh yeah, girl, like your testosterone is like -3. Like we need to fix you. Like after I had my son,
I was going to say, was it pregnancy kind of related?
Yeah. I just didn't know what was wrong with me because I'm like, I just expected me to go all the way back to normal.
Hello.
Like, hello.
What's going on?
And I've had PCOS my whole life. So I know I always had like a hormonal thing going on. But yeah, I think after I had my son, my hormones just went haywire and it just wasn't allowing me to lose weight. Like no matter what I did, I was doing all the right things. All the right things.
And that's the thing. And that's why these drugs exist for this situation. And that's what I wish people understood, because obviously people abuse it and then they like ruin it for everyone. But that's how my thought process is too. Like one of my girlfriends, almost the exact same situation. And I'm like, thank God you had access to this.
Right.
Because what, you want to be miserable your whole life?
Exactly. No. Exactly. So yeah, I started with that. I started with hormone optimization by one of the doctors that I was really close with. She was actually in my same building, in Dr. Phillips. And yeah, so she got my hormones in check. She started me on hormone replacement. She started me on the GLP-1, which is the Wegovy or Ozempic, how everybody knows it. And yeah, I would say like after that, like in the course of a year, and obviously pairing that with exercise and healthy eating, like I was already
you have to do
doing.
Both.
You have to do both. Yeah, people, it's not a miracle drug. You have to do both.
Yes.
You have to do the work. I have a lot of people that I'm like, when I do the consultations and I hear about their lifestyle, I'm like, honestly, you're not a good candidate. Because
that goes back to what we've been talking about. It's a waste. You're going to put your body through this and still use the oil of Olay and get the service. It's the same thing. The injection does not equate to the health if you're not doing anything about it. If you're not drinking any water, what do you think is going to happen to you?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So same thing. So yeah, so I did that, and then I'm like, oh my God, I need to bring this to my patients. Not the hormone part because I'm not a hormone specialist, but at least like the weight, the GLP-1s and that. So I started dabbling in that. I started getting a few clients on that.
And this was a couple years ago.
So
this was like before it was really so
and then
popular.
It slowly started to blow up. And then I got more and more and more patients.
Yes.
So that's how my wellness part of the practice started. And it was all from personal experience, like trial and error. Like there was some months that like I didn't work out, and I noticed like I had some muscle loss, and like I use that, and I use that for education. I'm like, look, it's your life. You can choose not to work out while you're on this drug. Like I don't know what you're doing at home, right? But just know, if you do this, like, you're going to lose muscle mass. It's going to be, I'm not trying to make you skinny fat. I'm trying to make you healthy.
Right. Absolutely.
So I definitely have a long conversation with that. And when I hear people like, oh yeah, like, I don't plan on working out, I'm like, oh, well, then you're not a good
because I don't want to put my name on that either.
Of course. Of course. Like, I want you to be healthy. I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to, like, make you skinny fat and then you're just still unhealthy. So, so I'm very selective on how I pick the patients. But that's how the weight loss kind of program took off. And then after that, I just kind of started researching, like, other things. Obviously, the vitamin shots were all a part of the program, because if those things aren't optimized, things are not going to, work as well. So once I started doing that, I started looking more into, like, NAD plus therapy, which is, like, a big buzzword right now. But I've been using that for years.
Have you? Yeah. Okay, so tell us your thoughts. Tell us your opinions.
So, oh my God, it's amazing. And it's funny because my husband was my first test on dummy for NAD plus.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Sorry, boys. We got to practice on someone.
Well, he's a firefighter, and in that field, because of their lifestyle, because of the sleep schedule, they don't sleep. They're always in fight or flight.
Always, it
just burns their brain cells. Let's be real.
All these environmental aggressors, 24/7.
Exactly. So I started him on it. He was responding amazing to it. He was feeling so much better, so much
injections.
Less fatigue. Injections. Yeah. At first, I had launched, like, the IV, because you can do it IV as well. But I just found that to be more miserable for the patient because it does have some side effects.
You have to, like,
while
sit there.
Getting it. Yeah. And sometimes you have to sit there for 3 to 4 hours to be able to tolerate the infusion.
Yeah.
But with my research, sub-Q injections work amazing. Yeah. Like, so you don't need to do it unless you're doing maybe, like, a higher dose.
Sure.
But you just do the sub-Q injections. You start them on a low dose, see how they tolerate it. They can do it once to twice a week, up to 3 times a week, depending on what the dose is. And everybody, I don't think I've had one person say, like, oh, this is not working for me.
Right.
Like,
it's so cool.
And I take it. I've been on it for years. Yeah. And I'm just kind of, like, on a maintenance protocol where I do it once a month. And I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
It makes me a morning person. And I feel like that's a miracle.
That's all I can ask for, honestly.
That's a miracle in itself.
Right.
So I think it's great. It's meant for brain health, right?
Right.
But basically, NAD is a coenzyme that we have in every single cell in our body. And when we age, what's happening? The cells are aging. Right. So it will go to not just the brain, like, wherever they see a cell that's struggling and needs some, like, rejuvenation, NAD will go there and, like, start small. If you have to start a Salon Suite, there is nothing shameful about that. Like, start in a suite, like, grow your clientele from there. And then when you see that you need more space and it's time to add an esthetician, like, do all those things slowly. Don't get yourself, and also don't let the reps, like, talk you into, like, buying these huge, but you're going to get this great price if you buy $50,000 worth of Botox. Like, don't do that in the beginning.
Those reps, man, they'll get ya.
Oh, they'll get ya. Yeah. And, like, the guilt trip and all that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's an amazing deal.
So charming.
But then, hello, if you're stuck with all this product that's just sitting on your shelf and then it expires on you, now you just lost, like, I don't know how many thousands
of dollars.
Because I made a little bit of those mistakes in the beginning too. Like, oh wow, that's a really good deal. And then I have all this Botox, and I'm like, I don't even have that many patients for all these Botox.
Who wants their face done? Yeah, just slinging on the side of the road.
Yeah. So, but I would say start small. Like, don't take on too much too fast. Because I feel like that's why I see a lot of people failing. They just kind of, like, go ham from the very beginning. And then find out what your clientele in that area is asking for.
I agree.
Right? Like, you could like certain things, but if that's not what your people are asking for, they're not going to come in and get those services done.
Absolutely.
So I think just starting with the basics. And then taking it slow. Don't get pressured into making these big purchases right off the bat. Don't get into all these big business loans right off the bat. Like, I was fortunate enough that when I started my practice, I was able to have, I had amazing credit my whole life. So I was able to not have to take out a loan at first. I put things on cards. I slowly paid them off. They had zero interest for a while. So just kind of, like, learn how to manage those little things and grow it slowly. And then, when you're ready to take that next leap, or even partner up with somebody else, like, let's say you meet an esthetician or another provider that is looking to do the same thing as you, and she has her clientele and you have your clientele. Go for it.
Absolutely.
I ended up doing that because it just made sense. Like, I was growing, she had connections here in Orlando, and, like, doing it together. And, that also helps too, because you're not completely by yourself. You're not totally overwhelmed. You make the decisions together, and
you have someone who can support you.
Yeah. You have someone to support you. You have somebody that you can kind of have those check-ins with and see what's doing next, help you come up with like what's next or what we're bringing on next. And that's been a huge, help for sure, because that's awesome. You do get burnt out after a while.
It's
doing
so
all the
hard.
Things. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely if you're looking to start something, start slow. Like don't go ham all in the beginning. Like this takes time. Like with any business, not just aesthetics, with any business, it's going to take you years to grow that.
Absolutely. And I think this expectation, right? It's so glamorized online. It's
social media paints this big picture. Even with estheticians, when they start their own things, like don't go ham. Like just start with the basics. Like grow your little clientele. Don't take on a huge rent at first. Do it slowly, and then once you get to where you have that like influx,
then go from there.
Then revisit.
There's plenty of faces. There's plenty of guests. There's plenty of time, and I think that's something that this industry does always talk about it being oversaturated, and sure, in some aspects, maybe.
For sure it is, but there's patience for everybody.
Absolutely. And the people that go see you are different than the people that come see me, and the people that go see Joe Schmo down the street, right? Like they're all different, and that's okay. And you want your people, I want my people, they want their people. And there doesn't need to be this competition. There doesn't need to be this snarkiness. Like
absolutely not.
There's a med spa right across the street. People go to them because they want that. People come here because they want us, and all is good. And it's all about your
and find
intention.
Your tribe. Find
Absolutely.
Your tribe. Like me, like I told you, I have a WhatsApp group with 90 plus providers. Like one is Florida, we're all owners, and the other one is just Central Florida. And some are owners, some are not, but we're just a resource there. So if somebody has a question, they're just starting, they're like, hey, what are you guys using? Like, what do you think of this product? And we all chime in. Like, find your tribe.
That's even like how we were talking about you with the numbing cream. Right. That was such like a pinpoint like stressor for me. And I'm like, who can I talk to about this situation? Like, I need some help, right? And there's very easily you can be like, I don't know, girl, like figure it out. But I'm like, please help me, right? And you were so quick to be like, oh, girl, no, this is what you need to do, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And there is so much camaraderie and support, and it's so special to be like, I know she's only a text away, and it's no big deal. And
I tell people, I'm like, I may not always answer your phone call, text me, because I will eventually get back to it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Totally. And it's just so special to have like a community.
It is. And it's important, because you do feel alone a lot, especially as a business owner. You feel alone a lot. And it's great. I mean, I have a partner, so I'm definitely not alone. But then I also have like my girls that are here all the time, where we have built that relationship. And like just the other day, when my girl's like, oh my God, I have 3 microneedles set up and I just ran out of numbing cream. Like, I'm like, girl, call Olympia. I was like, wait, hold on. I know a local pharmacy. Call Olympia. They'll have your stuff ready by tomorrow.
We'll go pick it up.
Oh my God, I had no idea that Olympia did that the next day. I'm like, yes. And she got her numbing cream. So like little things like that are like me. I'm like, oh my God, guys, I just ran out of lidocaine. Like, who in the Winter area has some?
Borrow some?
I will go
Tupperware.
Right now. And right away, like 3 people like, oh, I have some, Maria. I have like a bunch of them. Come pick it up. Blah, blah. And I was able to get my lidocaine. Like, that is so helpful.
It's so helpful. And it just makes it feel so much more like, I keep using the word special, but so much more intentional and special and intimate and just yummy, right? Of like knowing that people have your back and that it's not, the industry already gets so much flack for being like nasty all the time anyway. And it doesn't have to be like that. It just doesn't. And it's not. And that's at least not been my experience, right? Obviously I've only lived here for like a year and a half, but, in the year and a half I've been here, I have been overwhelmed with the most supportive, kind, amazing people in this industry. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. It really, really is. And put your ego aside, put your parts of your business aside. Like, all we want to do is help people be healthy and happy. And we all can do it. We all are in different areas. Like, all is good. And it's all about your intention.
Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. This was so fun. This conversation was exactly what I wanted. And I was so glad that we were able to get into experiences and also what you're doing and mom life. And this was just so refreshing. And I know that our listeners are going to love. Tell everyone, plug yourself, right? Tell everyone where to book with you, where to find you, where to follow you. Give yourself a shout out. Where can everyone find you?
Yes. So we are in Baldwin Park. We're right in the Village Center. So right in downtown where all the little cute residential apartments are.
So cute.
Great restaurants. So you can always make a day out of it. Or to my patient when they come for the first time, or if they're driving from Park, because I have people that even come from like Claremont, because they've been following me for years. And I'm like, all right, girl, you got to make a day out of it. You got to go to the Osprey.
Go shopping. Yeah.
You got to go to Ciedo. It's right down the street. There's a little like cute, what's it called? Baldwin Perk. If you're like a Friends fan.
Yeah.
That place is amazing. But yeah, no. So our website is skinlocalorlando.com. From there's a book now button, so that's where you can go to book the appointments. We're very big on IG, so our handle skinlocal.orlando. So we're always posting our specials on there. We always do monthly promos every single month. So now we have like our May promos, which are mostly geared towards like the moms. Because obviously it's Mother's Day.
Yes.
But yeah, we're always doing things. I'm always doing pop-ups. So
perfect.
I do like Pure Barre pop-ups because that's where I go to work out.
Oh yes, I love Pure Barre.
We're very big into like the community, and that's kind of how like we meet
awesome.
other potential patients.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about community connection. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. We do some Pure Barre events with the Lake Mary location and other like yoga, whatever. And it's so fun because those are our guests, right? Like the girls that are already there, already come here, and it's like such a synergized
and it's people that are genuinely interested in wellness and skin, and they take care of themselves.
Absolutely.
It's all about self-care. If people think it's a vanity thing, no. Like
it's a way of life.
It's a way of life.
Yeah,
it's a way of life. Like why wouldn't we want to have more longevity, or why wouldn't we want to have more
feel good
and feel good,
move your body properly and things not hurt
absolutely.
and
absolutely. It's a whole thing. But definitely.
Amazing. Well, this conversation was so beautiful. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course. Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Good. I'm so good that you had fun. And we'll have to have you on maybe in another year, and see what else has transpired and your next location maybe and what else is going on. Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for listening and joining in on another episode this week. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.